Hey guys, for those of you that don't know me, my name is EarthToLydia. I stream on Twitch and I predominantly stream the game Dead by Daylight. So today I'm going to be giving you my tier list of all killers currently in the game, and yes, this will be including the Demogorgon. So if you're new to the game and you want advice on which killer you should pick up, which has the most in-game potential, then I'd recommend watching this video through to the end. I am a survivor main and I don't claim to be an expert on how to play as killer, but I can get by pretty well, so take this with a pinch of salt. Obviously these kinds of things are subjective, so I know that there may be some people that disagree, but I've thought quite long and hard about this, and I do personally think that this is a pretty good guide and a good representation of where the killers are at, if not maybe a little bit controversial. So I'm going to start off with the Nurse. Now, Nurse is a very strong killer, even without her add-ons. However, she is a very difficult killer to master and does not play like any other killer in the game. So if you break line of sight with a survivor, you might find it hard to keep up the chase. Even more so, if you've got 5 blinks and you're suffering from a really long fatigue, you're going to lose that survivor. This might surprise quite a few people, but based on the fact that she's so unlike any other killer in the game and you really have to invest that time into learning her specific playstyle to get the most out of her, I'm going to put Nurse in A tier. Next up is Huntress. For me personally, she is one of the scariest killers in the game. You can be minding your own business, working on a gen, no terror radius, no lullaby to be heard. Maybe you can even squeeze in a little bit of yoga. Everything's calm and quiet, and then all of a sudden, an axe comes flying at the side of your head, and when you turn around, you see a hulking giant woman with bunny ears coming at you with another axe, ready to take off your other ear. Unfortunately, she's a little slow, and she hasn't quite gotten the memo that Friday night karaoke got cancelled, so you can run and find a nice spot to hide in. But I'm still going to be putting her in A tier. Now for the newest killer in the game, the Demogorgon. A bit early to really gauge the full capacity of this killer. I don't think there's really anyone in the game yet that can say that they have put enough hours in to be able to get the full potential from the Demogorgon. Having said that, it's going to be getting a buff soon where his shred breaks pallets by default. So when that happens, we're probably going to be able to shut down unsafe pallet loops really quickly. Until then, I'm going to put him in D for Demagogue tier. Now we're into Spirit, second strongest killer in the game. Got an ability that can win chases just by standing still and does not require the same level of skill that Nurse does to win a chase and start snowballing the game. You can literally go AFK, go to McDonald's, see what's on the saver menu, and leave the survivors shit scared that you're a god tier mind gamer who's running loops around them. Cons, she has an add-on called Prayer Beads. F tier. Next up, we've got the Trapper. Trying a little too hard to be Jason, but Jason didn't waste the first half of the movies going across the map and setting traps up. D tier. Wraith. Now, his big unique quirk is that he can go invisible, but is it really invisible if you can still see his entire silhouette zooming around the map? But that's all fine because you can just equip double windstorm add-ons and do big zoomies around the survivors, which won't really help you get kills because you're still coming out of your uncloak quite slowly, but it is very fun. C tier. And now we have Hillbilly. He's another high movement speed killer. Some people will argue that he's the second strongest killer in the game, but a lot of the times, all you really need to do to escape his giant scary chainsaw when he's coming flying at you from the other side of the map is just go left or right, but it is still a fucking huge scary chainsaw. So we're gonna put him in B tier. Freddy. Now this guy recently got buffed and I personally take offense because I was an old Freddy main, and now all you need to do is slap on Pop Goes the Weasel to make games last long enough that survivors will fall asleep not just in the game, but in real life. C tier. Next up we have Hag. Spends a lot of the game drawing triangles on the floor, which detracts from the objective of killing people, but she does have a very steady hand. B tier. Next up we have Old Bubba. Old Leatherface. He's got a face that only a mother could love, but his personality could win over anyone's heart. B tier. Plague, best Mori in the game. S tier. Pig. Now this girl is actually the friendliest killer in the game. She is the only killer whose M2 ability can only be used after a survivor has been downed. Also can crouch to help on generators and will let you boop the snoot. C tier. Maya's still no shirtless cosmetic. C tier. Ghostface is Like Myers, but with a much smaller knife, so D tier. Clown. Now this guy, unfortunately, has some very big cons. Clown is unlike any other killer in that you actually can't pick your own build, as every clown in this game is automatically defaulted to run Exhaustion and Double Hindrance bottles, No-Ed, Devour Hope, and 7 other exposed perks. Pros, however, he does have jiggle physics. D tier. Doctor laughs at his own jokes. E tier. And that just leaves Legion. Yeah, that's about it, really.